Let's talk about Naked and Afraid of Love. I've been watching this season from the beginning and it needs to be discussed, okay? It's good, but it's not. So I'm gonna start off with the good because there were some good. So the thing that hooks me the most with Naked and Afraid of Love is the social experiment aspect of it. I really like the idea of people meeting naked. If you think about like what our clothes say about us and what it represents, I like the idea of people meeting without having to hide behind makeup, shapewear, clothes, jewelry, cars, or even like your social circle. I think this show takes that aspect of things out of the equation. You really are meeting a person for who they are without all these extra things that we kind of like prop up to like send a message about ourselves. Can people fall in love like for who they are without all of these signifiers that we kind of use in the real world? But at the same time, I don't even know if it really takes that aspect away because, hey, maybe money and status is not important on the island, but other things are important. So maybe it doesn't matter that you have like thousands of dollars in the bank, but can you climb a tree though? Can you kill a bug though? Are you knowledgeable about survival? Can you keep the group safe? Can you find food? Like, can you fish? I think that kind of stuff became more important. So I don't know, like, does it translate to the real world? That's my question. Now let's get into the bad. I feel like they could have done a way better job with casting. I feel like I see what they were trying to do and I appreciate it because, as we all know, like, diversity in the media has become such a big conversation. I can see they really tried when it came to casting diverse people. They did a good job with casting people of different racial backgrounds, different body types even, so that was a plus. But they checked all the boxes of diversity when we think about it like on paper, meaning they had LGBTQ representation, they had racial representation, but I feel like it was a little lazy. There was only one fluid guy and one fluid girl. That was a missed opportunity in my opinion. Like, it's great that they casted someone who is part of the community and is open about being fluid, especially a man, because I feel like there's still stigma against like bisexual or like fluid men, but they casted just him and no other fluid men. He didn't even really have the opportunity to date anyone who was not a woman. There was also that same energy on the female side. Like, there was one openly fluid woman and there was another girl who was open to trying it, but like she had never thought of it before. And I feel like that's a missed opportunity because it kind of portrayed their relationship as this is just something we're trying out, or like this is an experiment. And I feel like we see so much of that, you know, like we see so much that coming out story or that like first love when it comes to like LGBTQ representation, but I don't feel like they normalized it. There should have been more than one LGBTQ person of each sex. Same-sex relationships also have compatibility issues, so like we should have seen them have more options of people to date. That was a missed opportunity, I feel. And I feel like it still kind of made like this same-sex relationship, especially with like the relationship between Candace and Crystal, this like will they won't they spectacle kind of thing. I don't know. I didn't feel like it respected that identity as much as it should have, or treated it as normal as it should have. But I also feel like there wasn't enough like people on the island in general, so everyone seemed to be having trouble making connections. People were leaving left and right.
I also like I woke up this morning and I just like thought about it, and I was like, there was no one that like remotely like really showed like real interest in me, like genuine, not just trying to go on dates with people, go on dates with, and there was no one. I've tried to have a connection with almost everyone, and all of them are kind of hung up on somebody and want to get to know them, and at this moment it sucks.
I feel like they didn't do a good job of like controlling for mindset when it comes to dating when they were doing their casting. So many of the guys were so color struck, which I found so weird because when you look at the real world, when you look at real life, bigger girls are getting married every day, black girls are getting married every day, like people of all races find love all the time. But it seems like they keep like hiring people who just have very like narrow like standards of beauty. So it was kind of annoying, I guess, to watch. Like it seemed like just one person having like attention or dating, and then everyone else just waiting around. And if that guy, not even gonna say his name because I don't like him. If he said like blonde hair, blue eyes one more time, I'm like, no. Like even like the black guy was like, oh yeah, my type is like blonde white girls. I'm like, why would you cast people of all different like, you know, body types and different races and backgrounds if you're just going to like cast people who just have a narrow like idea of who they date, you know? I know people out there exist who date other types of people, but for some reason like they weren't there. Like I don't know, like it seemed like they checked every box for diversity on paper but didn't really think about like the minds of the people. Like the third thing, I don't feel that like contestants changed much, you know, during their time on the show. I feel like they were kind of trying to sell it like, oh, these people with commitment issues or with like challenges dating are gonna have this experience and come out a different person. I just, as a viewer, was not convinced that any of these people changed. It just seemed like really forced, you know? Like one guy was like, oh, like before this I focused on looks too much and I'm not going to do that anymore. But will he? That might be part 2 that I would kind of be interested in seeing, is like following these people after the show and seeing how they date in real life now. Kind of like a 90-day single life thing. That would be pretty cool. Because I'm curious to see if like they actually changed, like if they just cut out a lot that we didn't see. I kind of wish we saw more survival. Everyone on the show seemed a little too energetic, like too taken care of, you know? They're claiming that they're not taking care of them that much, and that they were surviving, but I highly doubt that. They just seemed a little too healthy there. Where's the struggle? I'm wondering like if it would have changed the outcome of anything if they had to survive more and they weren't like being taken care of so well. Would they pair up differently? Would different things be more important? You know what I mean? I want less people sitting around and talking and more foraging for food. I want to see them trying to build fires. Like I want to see that stuff. I feel like they cut all of that out. All of that to say, I enjoyed it, but there were some things that just really like got on my nerves. But I feel like it's a good start. Like it's a really good concept. Over seasons, if they continue to have seasons, it could be really cool. So what did you think about Naked and Afraid of Love? If you've watched it, let me know. Let me know if you agree with what I'm saying or if you see it differently. I would love to hear. I love talking about these things. Until next time, thank you. But look at my hair. Happy lock-anniversary to me. 6 months. I can't believe it. I've got jewelry in it now. I'm feeling so alt.